what's up with Sean Baligian?
What up, this is Joique Bell here on the Baligian and Bell Show.
Make sure you check us out on the Woodward Sports Network.
So what is up? The sun is coming out right about now, and that's kind of the feeling around here with what happened in the 2021 NFL Draft.
Feels a little brighter out there today,
It does. But what we always say, but wait, there's more.
There's
more. People that if you... And full disclosure, I've not heard from one person today, and I know a lot of people that get down on the Lions. I know a lot of people. I have not heard from one person last night that did I can't believe the Lions did that game. And I live with that every day of my life because I have a group of friends that said, why do you waste your time with them? And blah, 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 blah. We all do, right? And for Penei Sewell to fall into their lap the way he did, I
told you.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It was. Now, Joique kept saying all night he was going to fall into their lap, and he did. This goes back to something, Scott, you and I said, like 3 months ago now. Here it comes. Ready? Don't walk. Run to the podium to call his name.
They ran.
And they pretty much
did. Listen what I tell
pretty
you.
much did.
You can tell by the reaction in that war room when they called that name. And I think we have a clip of that real quick. If you can play it for me real quick. All right. Put it on the screen.
Look at Brad Holmes.
Look at Brad Holmes going. His first pick as a Detroit Lion. He got it right.
Do you think there's any way he thought it was real? Like
there's no way he thought it was real. There's no way.
I can tell.
I remember.
On that video.
So as I'm going, as we're driving, and I didn't want to get into this early. I kind of want to have a little talk back and forth, but it was such a great night last night, aside from somebody not keeping their word.
Crushing fools on Madden, just smoking fools.
Yeah, so you know what it is though. This thing with athletes, this thing with professional athletes, just regular supporters of fans or civilians, just think they can come off the street and just think they can come off the street and just challenge you. They always want to challenge you. Like you have a big target on your back. And so I remember I was over there playing Warzone initially. Oh, you're terrible. We had we had a bar. So you have people that have a couple.
Are you saying he had a little
they go off the cliff. And this guy, he sees me. Oh, you're terrible. Let me show you how to play it. And so we get on Madden because we were playing Madden when the draft started. And you suck in Madden. I'll beat you. I got 1,000 on it right now.
He said he had it in his pocket too.
He said I had it in my bank. I'll show you my bank account right now. He tried to pull up his phone, try to show us his bank account, and I said, come on. I said we're only playing 1 minute quarters because we have to switch up teams between each pick. And he's that's fine. And so we sit down. So I played with the Jags. I played with the Jags, and since they were on the clock. And then he played with the Jets. So,
one versus two.
First play of the game, I pick six. First play of the game, pick six.
And he knew.
And he knew it was over then. And then loses, and doesn't want to pay up. He said, you got to give me a chance to run my money back. I said, you know what? I'll call Chad. I called Chad Johnson's son over, owner of the network. I called Boss over. I said, Boss is a sophomore in high school. I said, if you can beat him, if you can beat this guy, you don't have to pay me anything. But if you lose, you got to pay $2,000, and you got to pay it tonight. And at this time, usually I'm just like, keep your money, just come play for fun. But he talks so. Sean, how much was he talking?
He was chirping, chirp, chirpy, chirp.
And it got to a point. I said, you know what? Now pay up now. I said, pay up. I need my money.
Did he leave?
Huh? No, he didn't leave. I wasn't gonna let him leave. I said I need my money. I said, you're going to take that little boy. So, I told boss, I said, listen, I said, boss.
The little boy game.
And so I said, boss, if you win this, I'm going to give you 1,000. I'm going to keep 1,000. I told boss that. Boss was like, okay, awesome. Smacked him. Play. You got the video for us?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I've never witnessed Joique be so animated. When him and I played COD, it's like friendly. He was on his ass. Here's the footage.
When you in the bar, you had a couple of drinks, and you get the yap. You want to play me? You want to play me for 1,000? You lose to me. You got 41 seconds.
We're not done yet.
41 seconds.
We're not done yet.
He lose this game. He got 2,000. And I'm gonna give 1,000 to my boy Boss. Boss. You want to get home, Boss? He got one timeout. Keep him in bounds. Keep him in bounds. Oh, yep. Oh, yep. Oh, yep. Oh, yep. Oh, he ain't see it coming, Boss. He ain't see it coming, Boss. He ain't. Look at me. Look at me. Give me my 2 bands.
Now, I've also got footage of Joique recapping with this guy that I'm going to play right now.
Yeah.
Joique, I don't think he held up on any of the offers that you gave him.
It's
I have to give you the behind-the-scenes look, okay?
Yeah.
Do you know when I knew? You know when I knew this guy was in trouble?
What?
Is when he started chirping, and all of a sudden, Joique got the athlete eyes. Zoop. They got this small, and his face went like this, and he got athlete eyes, and I was like, Scott, we were sitting there. I was like, my man's gonna get run. He's gonna get run hard.
And this was the part though. This was the part. Like I had never played Madden 2021 until then. I had never played on my PS5 until that day. Never. And so it was no excuses. It was no, because I wasn't used to controllers, because I had been playing on my PS4 for the past 5 months or 4.5 months since I got my PS5. I haven't touched it. It's been in the box. And I literally brought it up for this occasion. I had to download the game. I said, okay, so this is my first time playing. This is your first time playing. And remember my boy, put him up in my lap, made him my son.
Just a fun night last night.
It was a great
no doubt
time
about it. Joique was having fun over there. Scott and I had a blast with Stick. Just a fun night. You know, it's funny. I'm going to apologize to our Woodies on Facebook. For whatever reason, our Facebook chat isn't up. So I pulled up YouTube today, and I want to say John Bradshaw brought up a perfect point. Obviously, we're going to talk about the pick and how the lines got to that pick and everything. But so many people, including this loser who did multiple mocks already this morning from rounds 2 through 7, John Bradshaw said, Jabril Cox next. Okay. Elijah Moore next.
I
Okay.
think you can wait for
There are
Elijah
so
Moore.
many. There
Elijah
are
Moore,
so
yes.
many. There are
Elijah
so
Moore,
many
I
options.
That was one of the guys I thought was going to slip his way into the first round.
Elijah Moore?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought
me
he was
too.
going to. I didn't think he was going to make it to the second round. Now, if he's there, and I know we need help on defense, I understand that. But if he's there in the second round, we need to do what we did last time. We need to run to the podium.
Okay, do you know what this comes back to, Joique? Like what you just said, and this goes to the argument. There are so many linebackers, even after that. In the third, remember, you got a couple picks.
That's where Jabril Cox goes.
In the third, fourth, fifth round that you can grab. I mean, that's the one thing that we've been trying to hammer, Scott, like incessantly, is the depth at linebacker. To the Micah Parsons people out there, I use the word value. I probably overuse the word value. But you know what? Why waste that on pick 7 when you can get a guy in round 3? Maybe you could even get a couple guys in round 3. I mean, legitimately, if you know what, we need linebackers. Oh my gosh, look at the way the board played itself out. There are 2 guys sitting there that we didn't expect to be there. There's 2 linebackers for at least the next 5 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. 3rd round picks.
Yep.
Like,
And
nothing
even
wrong
later.
with that.
What's
Even
up, Fish?
later.
Hey,
aquarium.
Joique, I got a question for you, Joique.
What up, dog?
Is there a reason you didn't play Art last night in Madden? Were you slightly nervous that he was gonna win?
No, I wasn't nervous.
Big gulp.
You were
Never nervous.
You weren't just a little bit nervous that you were gonna get embarrassed at your own party?
Fish is
For
stirring
free?
the pot.
For free?
Oh,
For free?
boy.
I mean, I played for $1,000. I think me playing Art is the least amount of pressure I would have had of the whole night.
Okay.
Unless Art wanted to play for a band. Did you wanna
That's
play
for you and
$1,000?
her to determine.
I was busy setting and unsetting.
No, Art was working
working.
last night. Art came out to the car and grabbed my PS5, ran it and plugged in, set everything up, and then even packed it up at the end. Art was working. Art was working. And so
Wait,
Art was working last night.
What just happened?
You know what? I always give Art a hard time. I got to give him his roses. He did a great job last night. Good job, Art. Good job, Art.
Hey,
Great last night.
Scott, when you take a look at some of these guys, and I promise you we're going to talk about how we got there, and Joique telling all of us that Jamar Chase was going to Cincinnati. He really did. I'll give
But
him
he
credit
also
for
was
that.
telling us that running backs matter, and 2 went in round 1.
You know,
So he's right.
Smoke show Mike.
What is that?
Smoke
Are you
Show
not wearing
Mike
socks?
actually won a bet. Did
Jeez Louise.
Did you
Yes.
know that
What's
bet?
up?
Yes.
I wear
You
socks.
won a couple as well, didn't you?
No.
You didn't win any?
No.
Yeah, you did. You son of
did.
a bitch.
You want what?
They had some
I
prop
had
bets on the
Justin
draft
Fields
last
going
night.
to the Bears. And
That was
I
a good
had-
pick.
And I had Micah Parsons going to the
Because
Cowboys.
a lot of the mock drafts had Trey
Bears moving
Lance down. I'm like,
But I never.
what are people not
Somebody
seeing
was
here?
going to take a chance on that guy. That's why I said take a chance on Lance for the last 3
I didn't
months.
know.
Okay,
I didn't know
somebody-
you, All right, I
somebody-
didn't know you was going
Time out. Sean, what is he doing?
I didn't know you was
I
going
didn't even pay attention.
What
I
he,
didn't know you was going to put it on me.
He's getting
I was
comfortable.
getting.
make sure that you get my shoes.
You know what? Can I do
I
that?
didn't even know the camera can get my shoes.
I need to spread my hamstring every now and again. I really
They're
do.
just the
So can I?
corks.
I'm going to do this.
They're just the
this,
corks. I
Boy,
didn't
this
know you
feels
was going to
good
do
now,
this. Let
actually,
me-
now that I think about it, can I sit like that?
No.
Why
Oh
not?
my gosh, does that feel good?
That feels great, doesn't
Now
it?
I've got to adjust your camera. So, Scott, let's get back to the topic at hand. Please.
All
tell
right,
us
What
about
is the
draft.
topic
Scott,
at hand?
no,
What-
Scott,
what-
No,
I-
we're talking about how a lot of these mock drafts were looking at Trey Lance and had him low. Where the whole time I've been telling people that I like Trey Lance more than Justin Fields. And not saying that Justin Fields isn't a good quarterback. I'm not saying that. I'm looking at the upside. I'm looking at the playmaker talent. I'm looking at everything that Trey Lance brings to the table, his toughness, his ability to make plays out of nothing. I love what he can do. And I didn't know what people were talking about.
Can I tell you what it is? This is just a guess, and Scott, you can tell me if
I
I'm
know
wrong.
what it is. He played against inferior competition.
Well, that's a big part of
That's
it, and
garbage.
you know what? I think a
Garbage.
lot of people.
No, you're right. But
I think a lot of people are worried about the term upside. Does that make sense? Like, he's got so much upside. There's still so much ceiling there. And somebody, I think some people, just one man's opinion, Scott, I think some people go, well, this guy's more polished. And it's like, well, you know what? If I put a little elbow grease in this, my bitch is going to shine even brighter.
You're
You
not
know?
drafting that position. You're drafting that position for the upside. You just are.
You have
and
to.
that was. I mean, you mentioned it, but even yesterday we were talking about Mac Jones fitting in at 3, and it just was. As much as it could happen, it just feels like that's not going to happen. And I think that
that was
the
a great
49ers
pick.
played everybody.
I think that was a good pick for the Patriots because you look at Tom
15,
Brady.
sure.
You look at Tom Brady's body when he came out. You look at Mac Jones' body when they came out. They look similar, don't they?
They do.
They
Could-
look similar.
I don't mean to derail the show. Joey, could you get if you look, you're not, I get it. Thank you. I know it's Friday.
Okay.
But, you know,
All right, shut up, man.
a little Law and Order.
All right, shut up.
Steve
Turn the
accused me of
camera this
having
way,
New
son.
Balance. I swear I've had Adidas for about 32 years. I've worn no other shoe but Adidas for 32 years. That's
You know what, though?
That's been my brand forever. I love my Adidas.
I don't mind Adidas, but when I signed with Nike, I became a Nike guy.
Gee, that must be
I got
awful.
a pair of Nikes, and I got to be honest with you, I thought they were awful.
What's pair you get?
One man's opinion. This is probably like 25 years ago. I thought that they were awful.
You know, I signed with Under
I'm gonna
Armour
get you- I'm
like
gonna get you a
a year
pair.
ago.
No, I don't want a pair.
You know,
I'm gonna get you a pair. What size shoe you wear?
I love Adidas.
I know you do. What size?
11 and a half or 12. It depends.
10
Cool,
and a
okay,
half
you wear my
for 11.
size.
Okay.
You wear
Or
my
you're
size.
not offering me.
Hey,
Arthur.
No, I was gonna give him a pair out the
Jeez
closet.
Louise.
Oh, okay. Arthur.
We've got a question for Joique that I want him to answer
Hold on.
after
All right,
the break.
yeah, hold on.
He literally just called
All
on
right.
me.
I got you.
What are we
I
doing?
didn't say raise your hand. I said hold up, Art. That's all I said. I wasn't being rude.
Can you tell us
The
about
tension in here is something else.
I can tell you about Northwestern Tech after I finished asking. Do you like Jordans? Do you like Jays? Have you ever had a pair? Perfect. That's all I need.
I've never had a pair.
I have a pair that I've never worn.
Are you asking him?
I'm asking him
I'll
because
try
he
it.
wears my size.
I'll try it.
Okay.
I'll try. I have a pair I never wore before. So
Thank you. You're a
yeah,
nice
I
human
got
being.
You know what?
I feel
Just
bad.
like Jordans are essential. I want to tell you about Northwestern Tech. Start a new career in the industry that is always essential. The heating and cooling industry. Learn more today by visiting northwesterntech.edu. Stay tuned to the Baligian and Bell Show. Sean Baligian, Scott Bischoff, Joique Bell. Stay tapped in.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. And at Hall Financial, we treat our clients like family. And our number one priority is giving each of our clients 5-star service. Our passion for 5-star service, combined with our expertise, allows us to find the best possible solution for refinancing your home loan. We take the time to focus on both the individual and the numbers. We're going to walk you through the process and close your loan in half the time of our competition. Go to davidhallmortgage.com today.
All right, welcome back in. So glad you can join us. So many things to get to. I still have to get Scott's take on this second-round pick because, guys, seriously, if you're a mockaholic, and Joique, we were just talking about this off the air. There are so many good players on the board. The Lions are going to get a very good player in the second round. Mark my words. I think we're all in agreement that Elijah Moore from Ole Miss should be that really good player. And I know what people are saying here. I can hear it now. All right, so let me get it out of the way. Lions had a historically bad defense, and your first 2 draft picks were offensive players. Where? Okay, you can get really good players in the 3rd round. You have 2 picks. You can get a really good player in the 4th round. You can get a really good player in the 5th round. And if need be, you can use some future draft capital. If there's a guy that you really, really like that you can't believe is still there in the 3rd round, you can make a play for getting an additional 3rd round pick. Guys,
Just go look at the wide receiver room.
you
Just
have to
look at it.
like follow the guys. I'm serious, and they really need a stud wide receiver. Guys, I'm serious. There is incredible value to be had at positions like corner and position like linebacker in the middle rounds. There just are. There just are. There's no other way to say that. Art, I know you had a question for Joique.
Yeah, we have a question that came in from a viewer. Chris says, Joique, if it will pop up, there we go. Aren't you nervous with Lance and his lack of reps at the QB position in college? I love how he's raw, but I love how raw he is, but would you put him in the biggest potential bust category? What are your thoughts on that, Joique?
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
He's got the same number of college starts as Mac Jones.
Yes. So it's not a lack thereof.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about that at all. Him being raw and still being able to go out there and put up those type of numbers gives me more confidence in what he might be able to do down the line. Being with an NFL team, a quarterback coach that knows how to work with him, and he didn't get to where he is by not working hard. So I'm excited to see where he is in 2 years. I'm not looking more so what he's going to do this year, 2 years from now. Just take a look at it.
Boy, does this sound familiar? How many times did we have this conversation?
Josh Allen? No, you bring up Josh Allen.
No.
Oh,
I
okay.
swear to God, I'm not going to. But how many times did we have this conversation about Trey Lance? I said what we don't know, and I guess we may never find out, is how Brad Holmes and his staff feel about Trey Lance. if they love Trey Lance and Trey Lance was there, they may have drafted him. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's okay if he sits for a couple years. It's okay.
But it's also okay for him to start now.
Absolutely.
So let's see what they do with Jimmy Garoppolo. He may be on the move. There are teams who may miss on quarterback have missed on quarterback in round 1, and Garoppolo might be a cut candidate type of guy. But Lance is raw in some ways, but he's not in others. And the idea that he's so raw that he can't play, I think, is misguided. From the sense that in that scheme, in that really quarterback-friendly scheme, there are things that you can do for him to make it easier for him. Rollouts, design play action type of things, the things that he really does well. When you're watching him on film, watch him turn his back on the defense to execute play action and then figure it out when you have to turn your back on the defense, you don't know where guys are going. And then when he turns around, all of a sudden – he figures it out and he knows where to put the ball. You can see him do this over and over and over. It's one of the reasons why I think, he's raw from a reps standpoint, but the things that he does, it flashes high ceiling potential and upside and all those things. I think like we've mentioned, the ceiling with him is very, very high. Yeah. It's just I don't know he's anywhere near as raw as some are making him out to be.
No, he must be because he played at North Dakota State.
Now, question: do you think
he must be?
All right, do you think he's run first or pass first?
Well, okay, so this is,
and I'll say this: he is. I would say he's pass first, but at first sign of trouble, is he straight run or is he looking for a receiver down the field?
He's looking downfield, but a lot of what North Dakota State does with him is they run quarterback power, so that is not going to happen. Like, you're not going to see them shotgun snap and have him run off tackle or between the guard and the tackle. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just not going to happen that way. But they did a lot of that stuff at North Dakota State where he could get into the second level, and he's big. He runs heavy. He's reminiscent of – I don't think he ran a 40, but I don't think he needs to. He's reminiscent of Steve McNair in that he's very heavy the way he runs, and he'll run through you and over you. But this is where Kyle Shanahan's going to have to put together a scheme for him where, do you really want him running into where linebackers? No. You want him rolling out and being able to create plays with his feet, throwing the ball. And I trust that Shanahan will do that.
Yeah, you don't want him running the ball like that.
No, I mean, a little bit.
Not in the National
Football League. A little bit.
Shorten his career. You're going to shorten his career.
Don't just – they're not going to be running quarterback power. So a lot of the highlights we see of Trey Lance are just meaningless from a scout standpoint because you don't learn anything by watching him get a snap and immediately take off and run between a guard and a tackle. It's just, what do you learn? Okay, he's fast and he's big and he's heavy and he's hard to tackle. You learn more by watching him turn his back on the defense and then, take his 5-step drop, turn around, and figure out where to go with the ball. That's where you learn a lot with him. And with him, he does those things at a high level. I think he could play right now. I think that the idea that he needs to sit, he could, and it might help him to sit a little bit, but I think he can play. I think he could function at a high level.
He definitely can. I like him.
Some of that stuff is.
But what you're talking about right now are all the football mechanics, right? And he had that with me. That's one thing I liked about him. But the thing that I liked the most about him was how he ran the ball, how he finished plays.
Oh, yeah.
His toughness.
The physicality.
Right. Those are the things I saw in him that I said, wow, this guy is special. And that what made me say I like this guy better than Fields. I'm not going to say better than Zach Wilson because Zach Wilson's also athletic. I'm not going to say Trevor Lawrence because, he's been on our radar for quite some time. He hasn't failed us yet. So I think how everything played out last night was perfect.
But what if I told you that Trey Lance was responsible for setting the protections for their offensive line? And as a 19-year-old, he did that for the entire offensive line. What does that tell you about him as a player?
Damn.
Right? I mean, that's just another thing that you think, wow.
At a young age.
At a young age, he understands it. He gets it. He understands what defenses are trying to do. Can he grow as a passer? Yeah. There are things he needs to clean up. Sure. He's already shown that he can do that.
All right, we're going to talk about the first few picks and what led to Penei Sewell ending up here in Detroit. The write-up in particular on ESPN sounds eerily similar to something that we've been talking about for a couple of months. But first, let me tell you about our friends at Sun RV Resorts. Sun RV Resorts has over 160 RV and camping resorts in the U.S. and Canada. Guests can enjoy water parks, lazy rivers, mini golf, restaurants, bars, and even Wi-Fi if they want to stay connected. With locations from the Florida Keys to Myrtle Beach to San Diego Bay and Petoskey, guests can enjoy the outdoors at a Sun RV Resort. Joique Bell, Scott Bischoff, Sean Baligian, so glad you can join us. We're talking draft today, right here on Woodward Sports.
We are here, downtown Fenton, my favorite Bridge Street Exchange.
That's right. And you want to switch up your wardrobe this summer? It's this easy. You ready, Joey?
I'm ready.
All right, you ready? I like it. You want to do it again?
Yeah, let's do it again.
All right. Ooh, Brixton. Nice. One more time?
Yes.
Ooh, I like the hat on this one, too. You ready to do it one more time, Joey?
I'm getting tired. One last one.
All right, let's change it. Bro, where's your shirt? You need new clothes this summer. Bridge Street Exchange in Fenton. That's where you need to go. Thank you, guys.
Hi,
I'll tell you
how
right
are
now.
Hello, everybody.
Everything well?
It's
Good,
sick,
fantastic.
It's sick
then.
face
Sorry.
on that commercial. Couldn't be more stale. Could you see it, Art? Did you see it, Art? Put it on your face, Art. Could you see it? I want to make sure I'm not.
I don't want to talk about people's faces. Let's be
Can
nice today.
I tell you what the write-up was on ESPN?
Can you read every word of it?
Can you-
I'm not going to read every word of it, but you know what intrigued me about the write-up on ESPN is because they talked about where does Penei Sewell fit in. And back in January, he and I had this conversation. Do you know what our response was? Who gives a shit?
Yeah, figure it out.
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
Yeah, okay, so again, here we go, Joique, and you and I have talked about this ad nauseum. Arguably the best center in the game, who simply put made Taylor Decker better when he went to center. You have a guy with an immense ceiling that they seem to like a lot with Jonah Jackson, and now you add Penei Sewell. I'll worry about the configuration at a different time, thank you very much. Do you know what this franchise has been in desperate need of for a long time? Talent!
Talent.
Toughness.
They got talent. Talent and
Size.
toughness.
Do you think, how many Pro Bowlers do you think we'll have on our O-line this year?
Honestly, one. Ragnall.
No. Coming up.
One. I mean, I don't anticipate Sewell playing to a Pro Bowl level in year one.
You don't expect it, huh?
I don't expect. I mean, it could happen.
It could happen.
I don't know that it's gonna happen. That would be a kind of a very mild surprise for him to play right tackle and make a Pro Bowl. I don't know that Decker's gonna make a Pro Bowl, but I think Ragnall will. But the point is that you've solidified the foundation of your offense through this pick for a very long time.
For a very long time.
Yep. Penei Sewell's going to play right tackle for you in year one. He may play right tackle for a few years. He is 20 years old. He's going to start the season as a 20-year-old.
He's 20.
At the age of 23 or 24, he's going to kick over and play left tackle for 7 or 8 years.
Okay.
Cool.
Sounds good to me. Cool. Let's go.
That's the value of the pick.
Before we look ahead and we have to, look back to what happened and transpired in the first 7 picks, as always, your calls are welcome at 313-552-6322. Our buddy Kevin in Muskegon is hanging on the line. Kevin, good morning. Thanks for joining us here on Woodward Sports.
Hey, guys. Man, what a great night.
It sure was. Are you there?
Wings company thing that I won yesterday from the Hook guys.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You said yeah?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. My question is,
all right, we're losing you, man. Yeah.
Huh?
We're losing you. Go ahead, spit out the question.
Do we take Barrymore over a receiver? Because I think, our defensive line really needs help. I mean, I know we need a lot of receivers also. So,
It's a great question. Here's the that'll lead right into what I wanted to throw out there for all of you and Scott for your digestion anyway. So with the Lions' next pick, and thank you for the phone call, Kevin. Safety is a need. Do you have to take a safety there? In my opinion, no. Okay.
You don't have to, but there are two really, really good ones.
Oh, the kid from TCU.
Yeah, he's really good, and so is Richie Grant.
I think isn't the kid from TCU? He's a first-round talent. Wasn't he graded to be basically a first-round talent?
Yeah, some have Richie Grant higher than Trayvon Moehrig, but I think Mohrig's a more natural playmaker and a player you can move around a little bit. Richie Grant's more set with what you've got. Both really good players. If at pick 41, one of those guys is the pick, Lions fans should be happy. They're both really good players, but we're in a situation where at pick 41, there's a variety. Asante Samuel Jr. would be a solid pick.
Nick Bolton from Missouri.
Nick Bolton, a linebacker, reminiscent of a Micah Parsons type where he needs to attack.
And they need that
needs
inside
to come
guy.
forward.
They
right?
need that inside guy.
But he's got some coverage versatility, too. Where, if you're talking about a coverage linebacker, Jabril Cox was mentioned earlier, and he is not a player you're going to play inside. He is not a player you should be asking to take on blockers at all. But what he does do is erase parts of the field in coverage.
Sure.
So this is why I don't think Jabril Cox is a player that goes in round 2, because he's not a conventional guard that you're going to, or a linebacker that you're going to say, take on these pulling guards and scrape down the line of scrimmage and shed blockers and go get the run. He's more of a pass. He's affecting the passing game.
You guys, and I'm going to say it again, and I know that people might lose their mind, but I didn't know that all three of us felt this same way. If the Lions walked up to the podium and selected Elijah Moore, I'd probably start weeping, because you know what you're getting with a guy like that? Like, really,
We have to
truly?
be super realistic about Elijah Moore, though.
Okay.
I think there's a less than 1% chance he's available.
Oh, I
unless
think so
there's
too.
injury things that we just aren't aware of. Now, there are players who are first-round graded players, like Aziz Ojulari, who fell for injury reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Tevin Jenkins, the tackle from Oklahoma State, injury reasons. And one of the things with this draft in this particular year that we've talked about is the injuries are going to force guys to fall because there's so much unknown
I'm going to tell you
about
like
them.
this. I've seen Elijah Moore play, and I've seen him play hurt. That thigh injury he had against LSU, where he still was able to catch it and take a pass 52 yards for a touchdown.
So,
with an injured thigh.
Joique, what I'm saying is that if you want Elijah Moore, you're going to probably have to give up pick 41 and pick 101 to go get him. And if you want to go get him, go get him.
He doesn't think
right
he'll be
now.
there at 41.
I don't think he's going to be there at 41. He's that good.
Well, and
I just don't.
Scott, you know what I wanted to ask about the linebacker from Notre Dame? I mean, the fact that he's still on the board. This is a guy that a lot of people thought might go middle of the first round. Luka. Same thing. You can sit there right now and look at it and go, boy, it'd be great to get him. I don't think he'll be there by the time 41
I
goes
don't know
around.
that he will either, but with him is where do you play him?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, like with Isaiah Simmons last year, you kind of knew that he's going to play somewhere in your secondary, and he's a Swiss Army knife type. But sometimes being Swiss Army knife type is not great when it's positionless.
Sure.
So Owusu Koromoa is not a player, just like in some ways like Jabril Cox. He's not a player who you should really be asking to play inside the box to take on pullers, to be physical and take and against the run. He's more of a space player. So if you're saying that you're gonna play Owusu Koromoa over the slot and you're gonna play him as a box safety and you're gonna ask him to be in coverage, I think that's reasonable of what you're asking for him. But I don't think he's outrageously good in coverage. I think he's good, but Trayvon Moehrig I think is a better coverage player as a safety. And that's the thing with Owusu Koromoa is I don't think you're looking at a traditional linebacker. You're looking at a guy who needs a position created for him.
Why does it seem to me, and maybe this is a perspective, and I point blank I liked Elijah Moore anyway, but why does it seem with so many people Elijah Moore went like this and Marshall from LSU went like that? Am I missing something?
I think there are injuries with Marshall that have been documented and come out over the past week or so.
Okay.
Now, I know he had a fractured fibula in like 2 seasons ago. I don't like this, but there has to be more than just that. I don't think it's off the field. I think it's injury-related stuff. But here we are. I mean, at pick 41, you're looking at Terrace Marshall. You're looking at Elijah Moore. You're looking at a player like De'Ami Brown from North Carolina, who,
wide receiver.
Wow. Right.
Yeah.
And you're looking at Rondale Moore from Purdue, who's more gadget type.
Good. Yeah.
So there are options. So if you miss on Elijah Moore, who I think we all like Elijah Moore to the point where I'd be fine with them moving, pick 41 and 101 to go get him. But there are other players. There are other options too.
Yeah.
So it's just. We've mentioned defense. Defense is a huge need for them. There's safeties, there's corners, there's linebackers. This is the area of the draft where defensive tackle becomes interesting, where like Christian Barmore from Alabama is a player who fell out of round 1, and there's some off the field with him.
He won't be there at 41, right?
He shouldn't be, but I mean he'd be a nice piece. Onwuzurike from Washington, same kind of thing, where you're getting a in normal years. I mean, you're talking about maybe the first or second best player at his position that you'd be getting in round 2. Now, it's a down year for defensive tackles, but you're right in the wheelhouse of where those guys are.
Now, when you hear guys like us say this, and Art, this is a learning lesson for you, young man. Okay, what Scott just said, do you know what that is? Do you know what that can be defined as? Value.
I thought you were going to say bullshit.
No, that's value. When you're talking about, like Joique, the first or second best player at his position at 41,
right,
or a guy who can play the role of wide receiver 1 for you in Elijah Moore, that's value.
That's where the safeties are.
That's
like
value.
Richie Grant might be safety 1. Trayvon Moore might be.
Yeah.
Now, and this is more so for Scott. Now, did you see that? Did you think that Sewell would be there at 7 last night? Did you think that before the draft started? Did you think he was going to be there at 7?
I thought there was a small chance he would. I kind of knew Miami valued Jalen Waddle over just about anybody else because of, and we've talked about it on the show, the ability for him to do things for Tua in the short passing game and then to create big chunk plays out of that. They have their vertical weapon in Will Fuller. Right. Now, you're clearing out space with Will Fuller running vertical routes, and then you're dragging a player like Jalen Waddle, who is just freaky fast and quick and just outruns everybody, and you're going to run crossers and slants and short stuff for him where Tua can just get the ball in his hands and let him go. So I thought Miami would value Jalen Waddle there. I did, and so I thought Jalen Waddle would be the pick. The thing was Cincinnati going to stay with Chase, and I thought there was a chance that they would.
Yeah. That was the rumor. Did you hear that rumor before the draft?
Yeah. And it was just a matter of do they really make that pick?
Yeah.
And is a player like Sewell really going to be there on the board at 7? And historically, the Lions have sort of, players have gone in front of them, and it's just been, miserable.
Well, Sean, how did you feel?
Well, how I felt. Yeah. Honestly, I think my problem in life, and I want to make this crystal clear, drafting Jamar Chase is not dumb. Okay?
No.
I want it, to the Bengals, seriously, you're not dumb for drafting Jamar Chase, okay? I think sometimes, and Scott can agree with this, I'm too analytical. And my mindset was, you've got a gazillion-dollar bonus baby as your quarterback, who you didn't do a real good job of protecting. I want to go out and grab the best offensive tackle in the draft to make sure he doesn't blow out his knee again.
My concept was this. It doesn't matter how good you are at quarterback. It doesn't matter how good you are at wide receiver. If I can't get you the ball because I'm under pressure, it doesn't matter.
You got it. That was my – so as you – and I want to say again, he was right. Joique was right. I was the analytical guy in the bunch. I go, I think the Bengals would be morons not to grab the best offensive tackle in the league.
Do we have time to talk about
do you have the
Cincinnati situation?
Do you have the and so real quick, so on my way to the draft party, I was texting. Well, Chad texts a group of me, Chad, Sean. Who else was in it? Was it just me, you, and Chad?
I don't remember.
All right, so I think it was just me, Sean, and Chad. Chad texted me and said something about
this feels self-indulgent,
right? And I said,
"Go ahead."
And I basically told him, I said, "Listen," he said Chase. I said Chase won't be there. Go to the other text because that's. I I guess the same way. I said Chase won't be there. He'll be going to Cincy. I said he'll be going to Cincy. I said, but Penei might be there. I said he might be there. And then he said he'll go to Cincy, as if I'm wrong about Chase going to Cincy. I said, well, that's a rumor. I said, that's a rumor. And then, do you have the other text where Sean text at the bottom? He said, wow, they would be moronic not to protect Joey B with the best OT in the draft. I said, it's just a rumor, but it's out there.
Do we have a second to go over what Cincinnati likely was thinking?
Yes.
They probably went.
Stay with us. We'll get into it.
They probably went into the room, and I tell you what they talked about when we come back from these messages. Stay tapped in. Woodward Sports, Baligian and Bell. Glad that you're here. You don't fumble the ball at work. Hey, Joique Bell, Sean Baligian. See you guys next weekend.
Thanks, mate.
Oh, Bell's soft. Wait till it comes to New Zealand. Sure that out.
All right, so welcome back. It was Scott, as we talked about. Pick 4 was the pick. You knew the Niners were going to go quarterback. Pick 4 was going to tell you a lot about where the draft could go. And when Atlanta did what Atlanta did, and I think so many people had your boy, Kyle Pitts, earmarked to
Are we familiar with the
Miami.
Lord of the Rings movies?
Yes, we are.
Do you know at the end of the movie when Sam says bye to Frodo and he gets on the ship and they go off to wherever they're going?
Yeah.
Right.
That's how I feel with Kyle Pitts today. He's just gone. Did it really happen?
Now, my question
We had a nice spring.
I'm going to ask you a question, though, Scott.
Yeah.
If 7th pick, Kyle Pitts and Penei is still there, who are you choosing?
Penei.
Who are you choosing? No, I'm asking
Come
Scott.
on,
This is
Scott,
Scott.
do it. You
This is
know the
Scott.
right answer. Try to let go of your love.
Hey,
try to let go of your
Hey,
love. As
wipe
hard as it may
that,
be.
wipe that drip off your mouth, Scott.
Listen. You know what? The heart wants what the heart wants. We can't. It just does. We can't. It just is what it is. I'm not going to deny the heart the desire to have a passionate affair with Kyle Pitts.
No.
Yeah.
I think Sewell is the most logical decision you could make in a scenario where you are rebuilding.
Indeed.
And you need a franchise altering
Yes.
piece.
Indeed.
Would Pitts be a ridiculous player in this city with Hawkinson? Yeah.
Yeah.
He
It would have been sick.
be dynamic.
Yeah. But we've done that. But we've done that before. We've drafted Hall of Fame like players, right? And it made the team better.
Yes,
but it didn't take us to that.
But it hasn't translated to
playoff
wins.
run.
Yeah.
Right. It hasn't translated.
So
this isn't a sexy pick.
Oh,
but
it sure is.
It's a necessary pick.
It's the smart pick. I go back to my analytical
sexy for
brain.
us.
It's the
You know what
smart
I'm saying?
pick.
It's a necessary pick for us.
Before we get into Cincinnati, if you're a running back in the Lions locker room today, if you are, and you know they just took Penei Sewell, what are you thinking about?
Thinking, as soon as we picked him, I was at the facility working out.
Yeah. That's the
Ladies
right.
and gentlemen, we're here to announce Joique Bell is coming out of retirement.
Yes.
I worked out this morning, too. Bring me back. All I need is 2
Well,
months.
you and Brad Holmes are boys now. Maybe we can work that out,
Hey,
huh?
Brad, bring me in for a workout. I can come in, I'll be a player's coach. Just let me get a couple runs behind that big boy.
What do you think the logic is? Let's go back to it because, again, full marks to Joique. Joique said, hey, I've been hearing Jamar Chase. Explain the logic behind Cincinnati. Because, again,
this is the only logic I can think of. We want a number one receiver, and we want a guy. They probably call, hey, JB, how you feel about bringing in your boy here? How you like him? How's his work ethic? And they probably ask him a lot of questions about the guy because who's going to know better than a guy who's played with them for a couple of years? And so they go to JB. You like this guy? I love him. He probably talked him up. Watch his film. I loved him. One of the hardest worker on the team when I was there. I would love to have a guy like that at my Z or my X.
He's an X.
Right.
He is an X. He's
right.
one of the true X's.
Right. At the X. I would love to have him here.
But
I need him here.
That gets into what I want to talk about.
We'll figure out the O-line later. This is what they're saying. We'll figure out we can go get O-linemen later in the draft. That's fine.
And they can.
Right, and they can. Are they going to be at this caliber? No, they're not going to be at this caliber.
But do you know what we talked about before the show began? And this is, I'm going to use my own words. Sean, settle down. I don't know if you know this. The draft is 7 rounds. Scott brought it up there. What if the Bengals walk up to the podium today and say, we're selecting Tevin Jenkins?
One of the best right tackles in the draft.
Okay. I mean, that's a W. And so then you sit back, if you're a Bengals fan, and you go, okay, we just got ourselves a first-round talent at right tackle, and we got the best wide receiver in the draft. You're happy as a pig in shit at that moment.
And so to your point, is you drafted a player who's going to play the X position, who is going to absorb #1 cornerback coverage, right? Yeah. That's Chase.
That's going to be, right. That's your alpha. That's your alpha right there.
He's your alpha. He is all of that. He's physical. He does everything you want. But what it does do is it takes T. Higgins and allows him to play the other side on the boundary against #2 cornerback, and it allows Tyler Boyd to slide into the slot where he's much more effective. And all of a sudden, you've improved not only your #1 receiver position, but you've given your #2 receiver position a chance to be better, and your slot position a chance to be better. And you've done all that with 1 pick. And like we're saying, you still need to address the tackle position. But if you know going in that you're walking away with Jamar Chase and Tevin Jenkins, I think that's better than walking away with Penei Sewell and insert, Rondale Moore or Terrace Marsh. I think it's more intriguing for their offense. And then there's this component.
Hold that thought for a second. Penei Sewell, Elijah Moore. What would make... No, I want you to think about this. What would make you happier? I'm serious. What would make you happier? Rondale Moore, Jamar Chase and Jenkins.
Yeah.
Penei Sewell and Elijah Moore. What would make you happy?
I'm going Chase and Jenkins.
Okay.
Because of this.
Okay.
You can turn on the 2019 film of LSU, and you can watch Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase make magic happen.
Yeah. 1,000%.
The time.
1,000%.
And you know it's already there. With the other guys, you don't.
That was one. Listen, you guys know what a college football geek I am, okay? That was one of the most dominant, explosive, awesome college football teams I've seen in my entire lifetime. That LSU team was incredibly special. I mean, everything came together. It was just that year for Coach O and the Tigers. Now, 95 Nebraska was an absolute machine, and they the most dominant single season I've ever seen. LSU's in that conversation. That team wasted you. They wasted you. I mean, and it was an offensive blitz.
And when things broke down, it was Chase and Burrow.
Absolutely.
Just magic happening.
Yeah,
and
they really were.
That stuff is already, you don't have to develop that chemistry. It's there.
Yeah.
That's the reason why in the end I thought Chase would be the pick.
Somebody asked, not only was the question out there for all of you guys, the Woodward Sports viewers, but to us as well, and in particular, Scott, our boy Easy wanted to ask you, what is your dream pick at 41? Now, can we say dream? The key and operative word there is dream. Okay.
Would that be Elijah Moore for you?
You know what?
Could be.
It's you know what? But let me throw a couple other things out there. Okay. Right. There might be guys that, for example, a couple people mentioned. Uka Kaluka. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, from Notre Dame. A couple guys mentioned him. Is he going to be there at 41? No. I don't expect Elijah Moore to be there at 41. But since this is a dream, I'll say it again. Yeah, I would love Elijah Moore. I would absolutely love Elijah Moore at 41.
Yeah, you could see how he fits.
I don't expect him to be there.
You can see what he does for Goff.
Let's remember this. We didn't expect Penei Sewell to be there either.
Yeah, I mean, there are others in the draft where, like, Asante Samuel Jr., I think would be a really intriguing player.
Samuel Jr.
I mean, this is a guy he's got NFL bloodlines.
Bloodline.
Yeah.
Play with his dad.
It matters.
Play with his dad.
Blitz said, I really want a wide receiver, but I'd rather wait to the third, quite honestly, because the other guys are too good to pass up. And Blitz, I'm going to reverse the conversation we had earlier, okay? Scott, and you tell me if you agree with this or not. Joique as well, okay? If you're somebody that says we need a wide receiver, there's still going to be good wide receivers in the 3rd and 4th round.
There will be.
Especially when you have 2 third-round picks. Let's not forget that. The Lions don't have the pick deeper in the draft for now. Things can change. But they have 2 third-round picks. So tonight, if you're one of those guys, you're going defense, 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 and they take Elijah Moore or Marshall out of LSU, I'm just going to very calmly remind you, take a deep breath. There are 3 more draft rounds for the Lions.
So, I mean, we mentioned the home run pick.
That's funny you say that because you said you would have got up and walked out if they said Micah Parsons.
If they took Micah Parsons at 7,
Yeah.
I would have. My night was done. Absolutely.
So
do you know why my night was done?
Why?
Because you could grab 2 comparable linebackers. Okay. 2. You know, I'm not saying here, but you could grab 2 linebackers in the 3rd round, and you locked yourself up with the best offensive tackle.
But why won't you just take a breath? Because we have 6 more rounds.
Because you're not getting value out of a 2-down linebacker at 7. You just aren't.
But what about the people who feel like that about certain players that might get drafted? There's not enough value.
But I think there's a big difference between 7 overall and 41 overall.
There might be somebody out there who doesn't value the right tackle position and thinks that you just spent the 7th pick on a right tackle and it's disappointing.
Could be. I had the argument last night with Mike Weber.
Yeah.
And I had to explain to him on why I felt this pick was a huge pick.
Well, and I think the big difference is what Penei Sewell can do is okay. He might be right, but eventually, as Scott said, he can be left. He can be left. Micah Parsons is never going to cover anybody. That's never going to happen.
Right. And
so that's my
argument. My argument last night was a little bit different, but than that, it was more so. I told him that the team was building, because usually you build your team around your quarterback, because that's usually the heartbeat of almost any team.
Sure.
And so, even though I don't feel Jared Goff is going to be our quarterback of the future, I feel we are building our offense around our quarterback of the future. And so when he comes into the Lions organization, he's coming into a good situation to where they don't have to continue to build around him. Everything is already here once he gets here. So that's what we're doing.
You got it.
And I think that's why that's a huge. And so, like I told you earlier, I sent the text group chat to the that I briefly spoke with Brad Holmes after the draft pick, and I said, "Listen, man, great start, all caps, exclamation mark × 3."
Awesome.
And he thanks, brother.
Yep. I mean,
we are not done.
We're just getting started.
Yeah.
So to that, we'll get back to it. There's one player who's available who I don't think should be. There's an injury thing, but we should talk about him.
Did you hear that tease?
When we come back.
Why don't you get up and go take a piss? Because he's literally looked like a 4-year-old child, like moving back and forth.
You go and then I'll
While
go.
they do that, no, both of you guys go. While they do that, it gives me the opportunity to talk to you about 8 Mile Vodka. 8 Mile Vodka, born in Detroit, is distilled in single 90-liter batches to allow for optimal quality control and care, then carbon filtered, aerated, and bottled at the perfect time to produce a subtle taste and smooth finish and character all its own. My next door neighbor is part of 8 Mile Vodka, one of the owners. George is a great guy. If that adds to a reason to buy, and I think it should, George is a great dude. Go support my boy George. It's an exceptional premium vodka that can be chilled and enjoyed straight or mixed to create an exceptional vodka. Now, I'm not a fan of the Moscow Mule, but my son and my wife swear by it. The next time you're out, why don't you ask your bartender for an 8 Mile Vodka or pick up a bottle at Meijer. Always drink responsibly. Don't you go anywhere. We've got more draft stuff for you. A couple of huge rounds coming up for the Lions. And I don't want to disrespect the 4th or 5th round, but guys, pick 41, 2 picks in the 3rd round. Oh, baby, am I fired up.
Read this comment.
Which one? Install a urinal in the studio for Baligian and Bell. It's kind of true. You know what, Art, can I talk about this for a second? I don't know if you've gone through the same thing. So in case you guys didn't, like we all went through COVID not that long ago. It was Joique, then it was me, then it was Art. And it was funny, like what it does to your body over the course of a couple weeks is really amazing. And that's why, while I have my issues with the way it was treated in this state, it was a failure. The seriousness of COVID-19 is real. Art, honestly, as I started to get like fluid back in my. I can't stop pissing, and it's been like that for like a week now. It's. Did you go through the same thing? All right. Yeah, the whole urinal thing. Yeah, from COVID. It's crazy. All right, we're gonna go to break now. More piss talk when we come back. This is Woodward Sports.
Guys, I'm D-Mac.
Hey guys, I'm Pilar.
That was a little slow.
All right.
Hi, I'm D-Mac.
I wasn't ready. I was doing this.
Hi, I'm D-Mac.
Hey, I'm Pilar.
I'm Maz. You're lit. Hi, I'm D-Mac.
I'm Pilar.
I'm Maz. We suck.
You suck.
Catch us Monday to Friday, 3 to 5.
Every day, right here on the hook.
On Woodward
Street Exchange, downtown Fenton. I'm trying to find me a shirt. Ooh, look at these swimming shorts. What are you doing over there, Stick?
I'm trying to find me a drink. Ooh, look at these bonfire bitters.
Ready for summer.
Let's go.
All right, welcome back. Before we went to the break, Scott Bischoff, who was growing up right before our very eyes.
Right.
Who knew? You dropped a tease.
I did.
All right.
I'm so proud of you.
Deliver. That's the most important thing. When you tease, you got to deliver. So here we go.
Aziz Ojulari.
Okay.
And I think he's edge number one for a lot of people in this draft. Injuries obviously have played a factor in him falling to this point. But you're looking at a pass rusher who's a little shorter, but he has very long arms. And if we understand the leverage game, there's leverage automatically with him. Long arms, shorter. He's up underneath pads. He's able to stack and shed. He's big, physical, first step quickness. He's got everything you want. I don't know what the injuries are, so we have to take that into account. But if you're telling me you're going right tackle, you're going tackle, and then you're going to get what is presumptively edge one in this class, like that in round 2, right? I like that in round 2. I think that it's a position they need. They need to be more physical on the edge. They need to be able to. They need pass rushers. They need playmaking there. That's a player in a position that would be very intriguing.
Amen. I couldn't agree with you
Don't
more.
know the injuries. Don't have any idea what they are, but that's a home run type swing.
Scott, is it safe to say, and I know this is a comment going back a few years ago, but would you categorize him as one of the, maybe in your playing career, Joique, this was still being thrown around, hybrid type guys, outside backer, edge guy? That was the term like 5 years ago. Now we're just putting them in. Would you categorize him as that, outside backer, edge?
A little bit. I think he's more edge play. I think he's more defensive end than outside linebacker. But I think he can stand up in a 2-point stance. I think he can get his hand in the dirt. I think he can do all those things. It's just you're getting pressure off the edge and you're getting playmaking with some explosiveness. Now, he needs to develop more of an inside move, because the majority of what he does is he wants to
capture that edge.
He wants to beat around the edge, and with his quickness and his suddenness and the length, you'd love to see him be able to come back inside, where he could threaten. You can threaten to win around the edge and have a tackle overset, and then come back inside with speed and power and convert. Like, remember Ziggy Ansah converting speed to power and just walking tackles back to the quarterback. Ojulari can do some of those things with the leverage that he's built with, just his natural build, being shorter with long arms. He's got like 34-inch arms, and he's 6'1.5" range. So, I mean, we're talking about a guy who's naturally built to play with leverage, but it's the first step quickness and the playmaking ability as a pass rusher where he intrigues me.
Somebody made a comment about Asante Samuel Jr. And listen, I'm a firm believer in collecting cornerbacks. Firm believer, okay? But right now, whether you want to believe it or not, so you got Aurier, you've got Okudah, okay? They're not going to give up on Okudah. And I promise you, a year from now, I think we're all going to have a different comment and conversation about Jeff Okudah. I think the guy's going to be a good player. Scott, with that being said, and Joique, I'm all for. I'll draft a corner in the 4th round. I'll draft a corner in the 5th round. And if somebody wants to throw an extra pick at me for something else, for shining their shoes, I'll draft a corner in the 7th round. You cannot collect enough pieces of the secondary. Would I want Asante Samuel Jr. at 41? My answer, Scott, would be no. What say you?
Depends on what's there at 41.
Okay.
You know, I mean, the safeties are both value plays.
I have a hunch. I have a gut feeling.
Say it.
I have a gut feeling.
Your gut feelings have been pretty good, so you better listen to Joique right now,
I've
folks.
got a gut feeling that more's still going to be there. I have a feeling. I could be wrong.
I have a feeling tonight's going to be a good night.
I just have a feeling. That's it.
He would be a very exciting pick.
I would.
So
I do something bad.
Smaller, Super explosive.
He's small.
He's a 4'4" guy.
He's a 4. He's a sub 4'4" guy. He's smaller in height.
Yeah,
than
but he
Devontae
plays
Smith.
much more. He plays a lot bigger than his listed size.
He is right, but what I'm saying is you have Devontae Smith was 6'1", 175, and then you have this guy.
Devontae Smith is 6'1" and maybe 155 pounds.
You think so?
Yeah, because I mean he did everything he could to get up to 166. I promise you, he played in the 150s. I promise you, he did.
I promise you.
Promise.
And you have a guy like Elijah Moore who's 5'10" and $180.
Can I tell you what the comp is out there for Elijah Moore?
I just think his durability would be much longer in this league than. And I like Devontae Smith. I love his heart. Yeah. I just don't know if his body will be able to hold up in this league. And I'm not saying he doesn't have the ability to, but he might be like he reminds me of a Deshaun Jackson sort of kind of.
No, and that's totally reasonable.
Without that type of speed.
Elijah Moore's comp in some places is a little bit of a poor man's Steve Smith. And I know that's hyperbole.
Okay.
But the way he plays the game, very physical. He will make you miss. He will run through contact. He will take short passes for chunk yardage. He's if you read into what Dan Campbell said about what he wants from receivers, which is get open right away and catch the damn ball and make plays happen, that's Elijah Moore. It's a natural fit for what Goff likes for receivers. It's a fit for what Holmes has done in historically with the types that he's drafted, which are the smaller, get open, make plays guys, right? He naturally fits. It's just a matter of will he be there at 41. If he's there at 41 and the Lions take him, I understand that there's going to be some frustration about horrible defense, but you do need receivers. Just go look. You have Tyrell Williams, you have Brashad Perriman, you have Quintez Cephas.
But you got to understand. You need understand more. But you have to understand this though. When we draft these players on offense, you go get a guy like Sewell, and then if we're blessed enough to get a guy like Moore, that's going to help the defense out. Why?
Absolutely.
Because it's going to help keep the defense off the field. It's going to help keep the defense off the field. They can catch their breath. Because I've seen great defenses get slaughtered because they're on the field too much because the offense is going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. And so the picks that we're making, we're going to make our defense better.
Yeah.
So
and we just
2014 Lions.
I think we need to assume that the defense is better simply.
What are you trying to, hold on, what are you trying to say? Hold on.
You know exactly what I'm saying, and you've agreed with it.
What you trying to say?
You guys hurt that defense. You had a great defense that year, and you hurt that defense. You did. You've admitted it.
Who was we? Are you saying we didn't have the talent?
Your offense.
There's no I in team.
Do you say we didn't have the talent?
You know I'm not saying you didn't have the talent.
What are you saying? Be frank.
I am talking.
Be frank. When you make accusations like that, you need to be frank.
Joe Lombardi is a moron.
You need to say that then.
I've said it 100 times, and I'll say it 100
more. Well, say it 100 more times. You gotta let the people know.
Your offense sucked. Your offensive coordinator was a moron.
I'm not going to sit here and say he was a moron.
I am.
He was a coach in the NFL.
Sorry,
I'm not going to call him a moron.
Art's holding his
He was misguided.
That I'm going to say
he was
that
the smartest guy in the world.
I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say that the offense that he was used to, that he was successful with, didn't fit the players and the players we had.
He took
here.
a square and he tried to shove a square into where a hole goes, and it doesn't work. But he said, well, because it worked in New Orleans and we have Drew Brees, who's a generational quarterback, it's bound to work here. So therefore, to wit, he was a moron.
Matt Stafford does not like pressure, never did like pressure, and asking Matt Stafford to face pressure constantly, consistently, all the time was a mistake. And that's a little bit of what Lombardi did. Lots of 5-step and 7-step drops.
Good logic. Good logic.
It was way too many.
All right,
Stafford needs to get the ball out.
We're up against a break. We'll talk more about round 2 and beyond. Somebody brought up Jabril Cox and then said go get Nico. I'm assuming he means Nico Collins in the 3rd round. Fair statement?
Yeah, interesting.
You can make bets on that. Did you know that?
Did you know that?
No, you can make prop bets. I know a few guys that won some prop bets last night.
No.
Chad Johnson, Smoke Show Mike.
I should have made
few
some
guys.
bets last
Did
night.
You really should have.
Smoke Show
some bets
Mike was
last
very excited because you know what? He bet the over 1.5 on running backs.
I would have
Joique.
taken the under.
He bet the
wrong.
over 1.5 for the first round. He goes, there are too many good running backs out there. So we got to about pick 24, and he's crapping his pants. He's going, dude, I don't know about this. And I go, Etienne's going to go first round. I know he is. He's too good, okay? Boom, boom, back to back. My man got paid.
Got paid.
My man got
And maybe
paid.
the best running back in the draft is still available.
I know, isn't that crazy? Racehorse workhorse between the NFL draft and the Kentucky Derby. There's no shortage of odds, props, horses to take advantage of and win cash at mybookie.ag. Predict who goes first or last in the draft and everything in between. I mean, heck, you could the over under on how many running backs are taken in the second round. Tons of props, tons of value. It's all available at your fingertips now. If you've got a hunch, you can cash in on this and more at MyBookie. Make sure you hit up the website on May 1st for some freebies because they're celebrating the 2021 Kentucky Derby. That's tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen.
That's crazy.
With a host of free games, spins, and chips available throughout the day in the MyBookie casino. Sign up now with promo code Woodward to get your deposit matched up to $1,000. Use our promo code Woodward to get a free deposit bonus and start your day off with that W. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Now, these two went and took their potty break. I'm going to go take my potty break. So good luck coming back from the break. I've got full faith in these guys. Joique Bell, Scott Bischoff.
Got it.
This is Woodward Sports.
My time to shine.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. And at Hall Financial, we treat our clients like family. And our number one priority is giving each of our clients 5-star service. Our passion for 5-star service, combined with our expertise, allows us to find the best possible solution for refinancing your home loan. We take the time to focus on both the individual and the numbers. We're going to walk you through the process and close your loan in half the time of our competition. Go to davidhallmortgage.com today.
What's up? Welcome back to the Baligian the Bell Show. Here with Scott Bischoff, talking a little bit about the draft, how much we loved the pick with Penei, and going forward with the second round, we were talking about the best running back.
Javonte Williams.
That's still available.
Yep.
And so, going back.
You know what? I want to talk to you about. I have wanted to talk to you about Javonte Williams for a while, because it's your perspective about a player like him. I think is much more valuable than anybody else's.
Why do you say that?
Because you played the position at a level in which he's going to play the position.
You scout us on the regular.
It's
Scott.
different, though.
What's the
It's
difference?
just different. So watching him and the physical nature in which he plays, watching him absorb contact and almost carry the – I hope I described this right. He absorbs contact, so somebody will step up and try to tackle him, and he'll just absorb all that. And then when the next player comes to deliver a blow or try to tackle him, it's like he just throws that back at the defender. And it's rare. So it's like absorbing a little bit of energy and then dishing it out, and then bringing on more energy and dishing it out. And he is so tough to get down.
So basically, you're saying he's wearing that Black Panther suit where it absorbs all that energy and just releases it back.
Yes, I'd love for Art to find just a highlight video of him just bouncing off dudes and just punishing guys, absorbing contact, and the balance.
And great balance. That takes balance.
That's why he's compared to Nick Chubb. That's why.
Okay, that's where that comes from. Balance and power. Being able to hold your balance and being able to see these hits coming, and know how to adjust your body to be able to put yourself in the position to be able to stay on your feet. Now that's a special type of talent.
It's rare.
It is rare. It's to a certain point to where you can get like a pre-snap read. And for the people who don't know what a pre-snap read is, you're just getting you're looking at the defense and getting an idea of where they might be before the play gets started. Basically, that's all it is. And so you're sitting there, you're getting your pre-snap read, you're looking at the linebacker, you're watching film. Okay, this guy on this film, he usually overflows, so the cutback might be back on this inside zone. Watch this backside linebacker. And sometimes I'm looking at my read with the offensive lineman, but half of the time I'm not really looking at them. I just know that's my aiming point. I'm really looking at that backside linebacker, and that's why, like a lot of running backs, we might wear like the smoke visors because we don't want you looking at our eyes.
Did you see I'm sorry, you just brought that up. I love listening to that stuff, Joique, because like
I mean, on this play right here, go back.
See,
go
that's
back, hold on,
cool.
go back, Art.
Lots of dudes can do that.
Right there. This play right here, this was a bad read. That should have went up the middle. He made his job harder.
Yep.
When he plays it, the cut is right down the seam, right down the hash. That's where the hole is.
Yep.
But he just took it outside.
I love hearing this because you know
just
what?
Let's keep watching the contact stuff.
So
and here's speed.
Speed right here.
Boom.
Boom.
This is an education. Like seriously, I hope you guys appreciate this.
This is
like,
why I wanted
listening
to talk to him so much about
listening
this guy.
to a like legitimate running back.
And this is where I kind of wish I had the controller to rewind it, put it in the slow-mo, and kind of show you these are your reads on these certain plays.
Do you know who did an unbelievable job leading up to the draft? And we never talked about this, and shame on all of us. When Kirk Herbstreit sat down with the quarterbacks, and you know what he did? He had this question that tell me what you're seeing here. And to hear those guys explain it, okay, like I'm not joking. It's education.
Yeah.
You're educating people like Scott and I.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, when I was in college, how I read a defense now is nowhere near what I was doing in college.
Okay.
It was totally different. We basically went out there, ran the plays, and we made magic. We made magic. But
I know what you did in college. You said, just give me the damn ball.
Basically, but what I'm saying is looking at the defense and then also knowing the jobs of every old lineman on every run play so you can know what to expect. And so that was a hard part for me when I got in the NFL, because not only do I have to know my position, but now when it comes to certain blocking schemes, I have to know these blocking schemes, you know.
Yep.
You know, what's the difference between a counter and a power? You know, counter, I have 2 pullers. Power, I have 1 puller. All right. Now, when they pull, who's he pulling around for? Okay. And then you have to, you know the old lineman rules. Never let anything cross your face. And so if he has to go block this guy, but this guy crosses his face, you know you have this next guy one-on-one, and you have to beat him. And so these things that I learned once I got into the NFL, these are going to be things that, you know, Javonte Williams is going to have to learn once he gets into the NFL. And then also, with him being so fast, being able to temper down his speed on the beginning of these inside zone runs so he can see that cut back, because sometimes being fast can be a flaw. I can say it can be a burden.
This is the run where I'm talking.
That was a great run.
Now just watch. Boom. All right, absorb
Boom.
Contact. Boom.
Boom.
Now he runs away from everybody. Boom.
And now you gotta go. You gotta fit. You gotta go score that. You can't let that. But boom, great balance.
So it's this kind of stuff where even a guy who watches film, like a ton of film on players, I still don't understand it to what you're saying, and that's why there's value in. I've wanted to talk to you about Javonte Williams for months, just because he's different than every other back in this class. So you know who brought him to my attention? Another scout actually brought him to my attention. Another scout, and that's when I saw watching him, and I said, okay, this guy's pretty good. He's at North Carolina. He's different.
It's not a football school, but you know.
And there's a committee there, and it's interesting because Michael Carter's there, and he's a really fast guy, and they're both really good catching the ball out of the backfield. Yeah. So they're both really effective in that way. But the way he runs with the ball, and his ability to just stay up is just different. It just is. But that's, you know, I would love to just keep talking about it because it's, you know, the more you learn about things, and
the more highlights he plays, or the more plays, I would like to talk about the things that he's doing on the field that makes him an NFL caliber running back, and what makes him so high. This is a guy that could have easily went first round. He could have easily went first round.
Yeah,
but due to a numbers game, just like an NFL roster, you'll fall back. You'll fall back a little bit, which is going to cost you a little bit more money. But at the end of the day, he's going to have an opportunity to go in the NFL and play, and it's going to be up to him to decipher how long he plays in the NFL.
I was going to ask that question. You read my mind.
It's going to be up to him to decipher how long he'll play in the NFL once he gets there.
His running style.
His running style is hard. But the thing is...
Does it dictate 2.7?
No, it doesn't. Because what he's not doing, right, he's not going and attacking everyone.
No.
But what he is doing is absorbing these hits to where he can take it, and he's he's still giving a punishment and not taking too much on himself and having good balance and not trying to run through people and step on their heads, but using their momentum to kind of catapult him to, forward. So it's just
great stuff.
It's just the way he
freaky
ran.
to watch.
It's like he's making shallow cuts going forward and positioning his body to be able to absorb these hits and cut apart him forward.
And you know who else is awesome at that is Trey Sermon.
Yeah.
A lot of people are too far down on what Sermon is as a runner because he transferred and they didn't use him much as out of the passing game. But his contact balance is crazy too, and his lower body flexibility is. He must have wrestled or something like that because it's like there are times when somebody will tackle him and he's just kind of like shrugs him off, just get off me kind of thing. And as he's bending with one foot in the ground and turning the corner, he's able to do those things like Javonte Williams is. And those guys are valuable players. They're going to be very productive guys. It's just,
Do you see him going in? But you don't see him going in the second round, do you?
Sermon?
Yeah.
He could. I mean, he is your not a workhorse type because I don't think he's going to be a full workload player. But if
he's not your bell cow.
No, but
so,
I mean, if
you're going to draft a guy second round that's not going to be a bell cow.
I don't know that there are any at this point. They're all complimentary type. Even the guys who went.
I think DeAndre Swift can be an every down back.
He can, but you still need to spell him.
He isn't though.
But he could be.
He could be.
He could be.
But you know what?
You're really reducing his career.
I would like him to last longer.
What is it about DeAndre Swift that would hinder him from being every down?
He could be.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He
for
can
sure
be. It's just I think that
I'd like him on the shelf a little longer.
Yeah.
Me personally. That's just my
but
logic.
think about your 2-minute offense and your 4-minute offense, and when you're up
because he's that good. I would want to keep him on my shelf a little longer as opposed to just run him into the ground.
Keep him fresh.
I would get a complimentary piece like you.
Okay.
Like seriously.
But the Lions are not taking complimentary piece in the situation where they're getting Javonte Williams or Trey Sermon. They're just not.
Absolutely not. No, I'm not insinuating that. But to Joique's point, like I think the world of DeAndre Swift. Yeah. I don't want him to play 3 downs.
He has the prototype of a NFL every down back body type. Mm-hmm. And that's the first step of being an every down back in this league.
Yeah.
So he could be.
Yeah. He could be. Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. No doubt.
Listen, when we come back, can you think of a world without Aaron Rodgers in the NFC North? Oh my
Is it happening?
Gosh, wouldn't that be wonderful? Well, we're going to talk about that. Aaron Rodgers says he wants out. This after. Yeah. There's so much.
You know why he wants out? How much money he has guaranteed right now?
None. Welcome to the National Football League.
But what if he rejected
speaking about having no money, have I talked to you about Hard Financial? When is the last time you checked your interest rate? If it's over 3%, then you need to call Hard Financial for a free 5-minute mortgage checkup. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you. Hard Financial is fast, and they do all of the heavy lifting. So go to davidhardmortgage.com today to get started. Hard Financial, lower payments, better options, and more personal attention. Thank you for tuning in. Joique Bell, Sean Baligian, Scott Bischoff. Stay tuned for some more NFL 2021 NFL Draft Talk. Stay tuned.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire a graduate of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
What's up? So glad you can join us here. It is a Friday, not just any Friday, day 2 of the NFL draft. I think it's safe to say, honestly, this is weird. I haven't heard one person kind of poo-poo the Lions draft. Well, actually, I was just informed. I didn't read it, but I saw some of the guys on YouTube talking about it. Carlos Monarez from the Detroit Free Press gave the Lions a D.
Who is this?
Carlos Monarez.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
I don't know what that is. I don't
Carlos,
know who that guy
much love.
is.
I think you're trying to.
It doesn't matter.
You're
people just want to.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't.
What was his excuse?
I didn't read it. I saw somebody commented it on.
It's contrarian.
I saw somebody commented on
and that's
YouTube.
and that's what I was talking to you about.
I don't get it.
No, Sean. That's what I was telling you. Some people don't have the same mental capacity as other people when it comes to this stuff. I'm not gonna say anything else.
I think you just did.
But we talked about these. Take a deep breath.
Mm-hmm.
We have 6 more rounds, and if this guy thinks we didn't get value with this pick,
it's phenomenal.
Who did it? Who would he have? Whatever. Who would he have wanted us to
literally?
come on.
Literally a generational guy who's going to be 20 that nobody thought would be at 7, and you're complaining and gave it a D. Okay, fine. Yeah. We'll get into the Aaron Rodgers stuff and maybe some of the stuff that these guys have heard. A lot of he said, they said crap going on, but we need to delve into it anyway. But Fish, in the meantime, I know we have a couple of callers. Who do we got hanging on the line at 313-552-6322?
All right, we're going to start off with Zach. Wants to talk about the, of course, last night Penei Sewell got picked from Oregon, and he wants to talk about the upcoming picks today in round 2 and 3.
What's up, Zach?
Morning, guys, or afternoon, I should say, guys. How we doing?
Tremendous. You?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling good after last night. I hope we could send a care package to Cincinnati with us getting Penei Sewell. So I appreciate it, but it feels good just to know that we're solidifying this offensive line. Just to know that, and there's still people that are upset that, well, we didn't get a wide receiver. Well, who's Goff going to throw to? But if you look at days 2 and 3 right now, there is a lot of good depth. Still a lot of really good talent out there as far as draft goes. And, when you look at guys like Elijah Moore and Rondale Moore out of Purdue, one of those other receivers. You've got the 2 wideouts from North Carolina, State Surratt from Wake Forest. There's still a lot of good talent out there. But all I hope today is for 2 and 3, they just got to go after a wide receiver and a linebacker. If they can solidify those 2 areas today, I'll feel pretty good about where they're at with this draft. But, I'm one of those fans. I'm not complaining. I'm happy they took Sewell. You talk about a guy that has proved to be one of the best offensive linemen in college football. Obviously, you hope it can translate to the NFL. But now I think the big question is, what does this do for guys like Crosby? What does this mean for Vaitai? If they kick Crosby in at right guard, I feel like they could have a pretty good line for, the next maybe 5 years or so. But I do like certainly what the organization is doing here so far with this draft. And I'm one of those fans, I'll raise my hand and say I'm not going to sit here and complain about it.
Amen. No, well stated. Zach, it's so interesting that you don't have to go in order. I mean, you have to sometimes just go with the way that the board dictates it. But, you're in a position where you have 3 picks in the next couple of rounds. You could go edge, wide receiver, linebacker. You could, if there are 2 linebackers sitting there, go with 2 linebackers. It's not like you don't need them. Go in. If there are 2 stud linebackers and you're going, you're sitting there in the 3rd round, Scott going, okay, we had this guy drafted in the middle of the 2nd round. I know that we just drafted. Draft him, right? Same thing with wide receiver. Don't overthink it. It's sometimes.
Like Nick Bolton at pick 41 and Jabril Cox at pick 101.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Cool. 2 guys that are going to be there for the next 5 years.
Yes.
Okay.
Have we got another one?
Yeah, one more. We have Hunter, who wants to talk about the exact same
Where's
thing,
Hunter
the
from?
draft.
Where are you from, Hunter?
I'm from Florida, but all my family's from Michigan.
Oh, outstanding.
Okay.
What part of Florida?
Yeah.
I'm in the northwest. I'm in Marietta, Florida, between Pensacola and Destin.
Oh,
Love
okay.
Destin.
Okay, big money. Okay, big money.
Love.
We got big money calling the show.
I know a guy that is looking into buying a place down in Destin. But go ahead.
Might he be looking in the mirror?
He might be looking right into the camera right now. I love the Emerald Coast is absolutely beautiful.
You know what's funny? I just got off the phone with my mom, walking into her, and she's looking at a place in Florida.
Absolutely.
She wants to
love the Emerald Coast.
I said, Mom, you can't leave. You can't leave me in Michigan, Mom. You can't leave me in Michigan.
But go ahead. What's on your mind, sir?
Well, first off, I want to say, Joique Bell, I was a huge fan of yours growing up, and I loved watching you play every Sunday.
Hunter, man, you don't know how much that means to me. I appreciate you, Hunter. What's up? So what's your question, Hunter?
And second off, if Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is sitting there at number 41, would you guys mind if they took him?
I don't think you mind that they take him, but they better have a very specific plan for what they want to do with him. And that's the conundrum is that is he a safety? Is he a slot corner? He is not a linebacker in a traditional sense. I don't know where he plays. It's a little bit positionless football. You'd have to move him all over the place, which affects players around him. I would just personally, I mean, I think there's a lot of talent with him. It's just if you're taking a safety, which it's what I think he is, I think that you're looking at Richie Grant, Trayvon Moore a little more there.
This is what I think.
Unless you have a specific plan.
What I think right now, we
Thanks,
don't need
Hunter.
that right now. Yeah, thanks, Hunter. I don't think we need that right now. I think every pick that we have, they have a specific job right now. And that's kind of where we are right now as an organization, as a team. We don't need to think about anything aside from this is your job. Let's make it as simple as possible. Do this, and that's all you have to worry about for right now.
Yes.
And that's where we are right now.
Yep.
And for me, I don't see that with him, but I do see that with a guy like Elijah Moore.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I see.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I don't see that pick happening. If Elijah is there, that's the guy that I'm going with. That's who I like. That's who I love. And I just have a hunch that he just might be there.
I feel like you're telling us information that you know that you're trying to hide.
No.
Without hiding it.
No, it's just like a hunch with all my other picks. It's just a hunch.
I know, but you've been right.
Just a hunch, my blood. Listen, Scott, if there was a linebacker right now that you put a circle around and you say, this is the best linebacker still on the board, who would it be? I hate to put you on the spot.
Right now, I mean, I think it's Nick Bolton. As
Out of Missouri.
as a guy who's going to, again, he needs to attack, he needs to come forward, but there are some coverage abilities with him. I think Baron Browning from Ohio State's intriguing, but a little lower.
That whole linebacking core could get drafted. It's incredible. Like every one of those guys are listed.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, Jabril Cox is a really interesting player, but again, he's not. He's more of a coverage player, a coverage type. So I think he's more of a you play him on passing downs type of guy. So
What
I'm
about
not sure.
Chaz Surratt out of North Carolina.
He hasn't played long enough to really get a great feel for what he is, but for what he's shown, and I've heard that teams love him as far as leadership and intangibles and all those things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that you would expect him to take a leap to where you're going to get production real quick with him.
All right, what about later on? Let's pretend. We'll get to Aaron Rodgers in a second. Let's play a game of pretend. Let's stay in our own backyard, McGrone at Michigan. That I'm not insinuating second round, maybe not even insinuating third round.
Late.
But is that a guy? Would you think about a guy like that in fourth round?
Yeah, I mean, those are all types where you would think in round 4, and we have to remember the Lions they're done after round 5 tonight.
Yeah.
So, McGrone's path is going to be on special teams. So when you get to that point in the draft, it's how do these guys perform on special teams? It's going to be their path to making the team. I mean, I think that linebacker is yes, they need linebackers, but safety is just as important as a position. That's where the Richie Grant, Trayvon Morig stuff is. Javon Holland, corner is still a need. Like you've said, you got to collect them.
Mm-hmm.
So Elijah Moore is, I think, for us, for all three of us, that's the home run type feel at 41. But there are so many ways to. It's just this. It's you made a very smart move last night. Let's continue to see them put smart move on top of smart move over and over again, which is what they've done, and it gives them a better chance of having success. There's no guarantees of any of it.
Sure.
But when you continue to make a smart decision, a smart football move, and pile them on top of one another and just keep going, we're going to see that. They're going to make picks that make sense.
Joique, in your career, did you ever have a situation like what is going on in Green Bay right now with a teammate, where this has kind of been a cloud that has been looming over Lambeau Field for months? There has been speculation, rumor, innuendo. There was the trade that Rodgers wants out. No, he doesn't. The Packers are considering trading them. No, they don't. They turned down that deal with San Francisco. And then what happened yesterday is Rodgers wants out, and you had Mark Schlereth basically saying the Broncos are this close to bringing in Aaron Rodgers. Did you ever have a situation with a teammate that wanted out or anything like that?
No, only a teammate that
maybe
no.
That was a choice. So that was free agency.
That was free agency.
Yeah,
that's free agency. That's different. No, I probably had a teammate who was going to retire, and people didn't see it coming. And so when talks came about it, probably that, but it wasn't a distraction from the team.
Yep.
It wasn't a distraction. So I never had, from all the teams I've been on, from Buffalo to the Eagles, Saints, Colts, and then the Lions, I've never had that situation, especially with a player of that caliber.
I've confessed my sins before. I went from literally hating Aaron Rodgers, and I would get headaches when I saw him, to, and I'm not joking, like I couldn't even look at his dumb face, to I just respect the hell out of the guy.
I respect the heck out. I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm gonna let you know right now that if Aaron Rodgers leaves, if he leaves Green Bay will no longer be Green Bay.
No.
I'm telling you right now, Aaron Rodgers is the heartbeat of that whole organization. Not the team, that organization. He puts people in the stands. He brings pride to Green Bay. He brings that type of leadership on the field to where whenever Aaron Rodgers is on the field, you feel you have a shot. I played in the game to where I believe we were losing to Green Bay, and Aaron Rodgers got hurt, and they pulled him from the game. We came back, and we started. I think we might have took the lead, and we started to go on a run. And then Aaron Rodgers said, he came back in injured, and they came back and beat us because they were a totally different team. If you look at the team when we played them in 2000 and what was that? I think it was 13 when me and Reggie combined for about 200-something rushing, something crazy. We put up some major numbers. And we ended up beating them 48-10, I think, at the Thanksgiving game, and Aaron Rodgers was out. That's going to be the Green Bay Packers you're going to have.
Jordan Love is not ready to play.
You hear what I'm telling you?
Yes. They're done. If he leaves, they're
done. If he leaves that organization, it's over.
Yep.
I'm not saying that.
Boy, that would really break my heart.
That'd be awful.
I'd be so hurt. I wouldn't know
I'll
what
be
to
smiling
do.
ear to ear.
Now, if you're Denver,
like
would
that,
really, gosh, I'd really
go
hate
to
it
Denver.
If you're Denver and you've got their weapons, you got Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton
if he
and
leaves,
Tim Patrick and Noah
once he
Fant
leaves
and
Green
Hammer.
Bay, listen. Once he leaves Green Bay, the leader of the leader of the division can literally go to anybody. Anybody.
I would be so.
And I wouldn't say Green Bay is a division leader. I would say Aaron Rodgers is a division leader.
You're 100% right.
I'm telling you right now.
Nobody can argue that.
Nobody's going to argue that.
I would be so upset. I mean, honestly, I might have to take off work if the Bears and the Packers sucked. I couldn't even.
What if the Vikings sucked too?
But here's the thing about the Vikings. You know it as well as I do, okay? The Vikings are the ultimate roller coaster. They've been like that on Spielman's watch forever.
Did we saw him at the same time?
Moves.
That's what they are.
Put it
up.
Down.
It's an elevator. They just keep going.
Put your hand like
on
this.
floor
Put your
5,
hand.
then we're going to go to floor 10, then we're going to go down to floor 6.
Here we go. No, I got to pass it
I'm
down.
Sorry,
I'm doing the worm.
I messed it up. That's a stunner.
But you know what I mean?
Come on, I gotta pass
the
it
Vikings, the Vikings
Come on, what
are.
we gonna do with them, Art?
They have their moments. They have their moments, but after
ridiculous.
you know eventually that they're going to Viking.
All right,
right?
you gotta be quicker with. You
And
gotta be
that's what the
quicker with
Lions
the
are
cam.
trying. The Lions are trying to change the narrative because you know what they say about us in other towns. Well, the Lions are going to lion. You know the Lions are. Well, the Lions have to change that narrative, and I think Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell know that better than anybody else.
I promise you. Listen to me. If Aaron Rodgers leaves, in 2 to 3 years, we're going to go on a run to where we're going to be, what you call it, the usual suspects.
Don't you say that.
It feels like it.
Listen,
Don't you talk that way to me.
Listen,
Don't you dare
everything.
get my hopes
Listen,
up
the
like that.
world. Listen, the universe is speaking. Everything is aligning. We're bringing in. We got Sewell. We're about to get more tonight.
Oh.
What should I tell you? We're about to get more tonight. Aaron Rodgers is about to leave.
It did feel sunnier today. I'm just saying.
Everything is aligning. Everything is happening the way it should be. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you.
I want to go do the fuck you dance in front of Soldier Field.
Watch what I tell you.
More than anything, I've been waiting my whole life.
This is our division now.
I hear about the 86 Bears all the time. And like, I want to scream it's 35 years ago, and you know what they do? They go, they never won anything. I will go to Chicago. I will put on my mask. I have that wrestling mask, Art.
Listen.
And I will do the fuck you dance right in front of Soldier Field. I will.
Frank
I'm not
Ragnow,
even joking. I might have
Penei
no pants
Sewell,
on.
T.J. Hawkinson, Moore, Swift in the backfield running behind that vicious O-line. Vicious. I'm telling you.
Our hearts are wide open, and we're going to get
Joique Bell isn't the only former NFL player making a comeback.
You can't see. I see into the future. I see it.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking into the future. Aaron's gone.
I can't believe that paper is so magical.
Funky Lion said, a lot of people said the same thing about Green Bay when Brett was about to leave.
Oh, the prism of water. Here we go.
Oh, there it is.
What do you see?
I haven't used I gaze into the crystal water.
Gaze into the wall.
You know what?
My little crystal ball.
Listen, when we come back, Joique Bell isn't the only former NFL player trying to make a comeback. There's a very prominent player trying to make a comeback. And you know what the crazy thing is?
Yeah.
I'm not counting them out. We'll get into that next, Woodward Sports.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. And at Hall Financial, we treat our clients like family. And our number one priority is giving each of our clients 5-star service. Our passion for 5-star service, combined with our expertise, allows us to find the best possible solution for refinancing your home loan. We take the time to focus on both the individual and the numbers. We're going to walk you through the process and close your loan in half the time of our competition. Go to davidhallmortgage.com today.
Doubling.
What up, dope? So glad you
What
could
up,
join
dope?
us. I haven't said that.
What up, dope?
Gang, dope.
What up, dope?
Yay. Joique Bell,
Yo,
Scott
son,
Bischoff.
y'all me. That jacket is tight, son. Run that. Y'all me.
Is he talking about me?
You know where I be staying.
No, that's some Scary Movie.
You,
Have you seen Scary Movie? That's some Scary Movies.
Yes.
I don't watch scary
Absolutely.
movies.
That jacket is tight, son. Run that. Yeah, me.
Tim Tebow making a comeback after his baseball career ended. Tim Tebow allegedly going to try out for tight end with the Jacksonville Jags and his former head coach at Florida, Urban Meyer.
Listen, I tell you. They can't get no worse.
Scott,
Listen, I tell you. Hey, give him a shot.
You've heard it.
Hey, it can't get no worse. Listen, if he's coming back, I'm coming back.
It's
Brown, let's have a talk.
It's
if he's
almost
coming
ridiculous.
back, I'm coming back.
You have your people call me. I'll represent Joique for a small nominal fee, 60%, and we'll work this out, okay?
I'm going to let you know right now, I'm going to be my own agent, and I'll take that 3% from me. I'm going to let you know. Not enough to go around.
I was just
sign a one-year
I was
deal,
hoping for
man.
1%. Just
Bring me in for a
1%.
1-year deal. What's the worst that can happen?
You're getting a leader.
You're getting a leader. You're getting a guy. You're getting a guy that knows the culture.
Yeah.
You're getting a guy that the players
the
respect
city.
in that running back room. I'll give the pregame speeches. How about that?
Okay, listen. Do you know what you just said, though? Do you know what both of you guys just said?
What?
Isn't that what Urban Meyer's doing with Tim
Yes.
Tebow? All jokes aside.
That's what we're doing.
Do we expect Tim Tebow to make the Jacksonville Jags as a tight end? No.
No, but you could see him coaching there, couldn't you?
Absolutely.
I can absolutely see him
Go
coaching
in
there.
and be the Tim Tebow that he is.
But who
and-
wants to be a
and
coach when you can be
leader
a
and
player?
everything.
Player.
I don't expect.
Listen, I have
Peter.
always wanted to be a playa. Is that how you say that word?
Player.
I've always wanted.
Player.
It's just never happened. It never materialized.
You never.
So
you don't have the body.
You said it a long time ago. You said some prescient words about sometimes you get what you need, not what you want. And I've always
I said
think
that.
Mick Jagger said that.
What I said was the pick that we made last night might not have been sexy, but it was necessary.
I'm talking about 2 months ago. You said something that was mind blowing about the world giving you what you need, not what you want.
Yeah, I'm always.
Well, if you try
I'm always throwing out
sometimes,
gems. I'm always
you
throwing out
just
gems.
might find you get what you need.
Yeah.
I think a noted poet once said that.
Yeah, and like a poet said earlier today, that I really, it was the poet. He said something around the lines, everybody's getting bands. We just dance to a different drum.
Everyone's in the club getting tipsy.
You like that one, Art?
We should write a haiku
Art, you like that
about
one?
Penei Sewell before we end the year.
It's been a
I
long
wish we
time
could get the
since
camera
I've
on
done
Art,
some
but we don't
haikus.
have a camera in there.
We need a haiku for Penei Sewell today. Just to historialize it.
Hey.
That's not even a word.
Last night we were dancing to the same
yes.
drum. I'll give you that much.
Lions, smart, first round
I know
pick.
the pieces fit.
Penei Sewell.
He was the first
hard.
He was the first piece of the puzzle.
Diamonds.
Yeah.
We need another draft like the 2013?
13. Yeah, that
2013
Martin
draft.
Mayhew had a great draft.
That was a great draft year.
Here, you know what I'm going to do?
Are you gonna run that one down?
I'm gonna run that one down.
That was Nick Fairley, right?
No, Nick Fairley was 2011.
I'm going to run that down for you
2011,
because this
2012.
is one draft that I always look back at. I was doing.
Oh no, that was Ziggy Ansah
That was
and
Ziggy
Darius
Ansah.
Slay.
Yes, that was Ziggy Ansah Slay.
How can I?
Theo Riddick.
Ziggy Ansah was one of the original.
Sammy Boy, the Golden Leg. Devin Taylor.
Devin Taylor. You ready?
Devin Taylor.
Here, I'm gonna go. I was doing like a Fox show that day, and I was like, "Holy crap!" Ziggy, Darius, Warford, Devin Taylor, Sam Martin, Corey Fuller, Theo Riddick, Michael Williams, Brandon Hepburn. I mean, you literally got like not two
That's
or three
a great
guys.
draft class.
I mean, that was like seriously. And,
'Cause you know who was a
unfortunately, they've
baller
been
in that?
so few and far between.
Riddick.
Theo.
Oh, 1,000%.
What a steal.
In the sixth
Theo,
round?
you know, Theo
So good.
over one offseason just came back and was totally transformed. I don't know what he was doing for his training, but he came back and his route running skills and his dead leg that he had was just
Oh, the
out of
angle
this-
routes
oh
on
my
linebackers.
God.
How filthy that was.
Listen to me. You had DBs who couldn't cover him coming out of the backfield.
Scott, I remember. Do you remember when you came over my house and these guys were practicing at Novi High School, and you came over my house and we literally walked over because that's how at the time they lived that close. And Joique, I know you and I had this conversation, but I need to bring this up for Scott's benefit. Devin Taylor was a freak of nature. He was like the things that I really thought that Devin Taylor was going to be a stud. Now maybe his body was too slight. I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Tall.
I love DT as a person, and he was also good on the field as a backup. But DT was a nice guy.
Is that what it was?
He was a nice guy.
See, I thought he was just a rotational guy, not an all-pro or anything like that.
He was a good player. No, I'm not taking any. I love DT was a good player, and he came and he made plays for us. But
he just needed more dog in him.
He just needed some more dog. I wanted more dog in him.
I've heard the same thing about Laken Tomlinson.
I wanted more dog in Devin Taylor. Great guy. I'm not and he played hard, but I needed more dog. I needed more animal out of him.
What?
More dog, more animal.
I love how he did that. Dog.
I need.
Because
you
he
know
looked
what?
like a snarling, pissed off dog.
I need
Give me some of that prime rib, slob.
No, I needed more gorilla out of him. I needed it because he had the body type. You know, he was like a taller, linkier.
Yeah, he was like a tall, lean.
Yeah, he was tall, lean,
long, cool one.
And so when you're that size, you know. You don't really intimidate people with your size.
Yeah.
Right? And so I needed you to intimidate people with your skill set and then every so often stand over him when you pancake them or you go get us. I needed that gorilla out of him. Like Sue had that gorilla.
Yeah.
Nick Fairley had that gorilla.
Bad intentions.
Ziggy had that gorilla.
I always use the term bad intentions.
Who else do we have? CJ Mosley had that gorilla in him. You know,
but isn't there a
Levy,
component of
Tully, to here?
You have to have that to play
had that.
at that level.
You gotta have that.
Yeah.
I played with that gorilla. You hear me?
Keep pounding the table.
I played with that gorilla when I played for them.
Look at the water shaking.
It's just, you know, when I took Clay Matthews' face and I put it in the ground, I had that. You're not taking me down by yourself. You need help. I don't care who you are.
And you know
that's
what?
how I played, though.
Did you tell him to suck it?
Everybody doesn't have that mentality, you know. You have a lot of nice guys. We don't want nice guys here in Detroit. We don't want that. We want guys like Sewell. So if people go watch this film and say that's a bad pick, like that idiot who wrote that. What's his name? I would know his name. He's an idiot. He don't know the culture of Detroit.
Can we bring up some Sewell
Bring up some Sewell highlights so people can see how this is that gorilla we need.
I'll bite your face. I will.
I'm gonna tell you,
there's
the last
a
gorilla.
hole, but I'll reach my teeth in.
I wish I would have played with a
down.
Don Raiola in his prime.
Look at Sewell. This is what you want.
He's
I'm going to do bad things.
He plays like Dominic Raiola in his prime, like a prime and more athletic Don Raiola.
Do you know what it looks like? It looks like.
See, I think this is high school stuff. So we need to.
Hey, we need to get like.
Do you know what? It almost looks like the movie The Blind Side.
Give me some game film of him. For
you know
can
that
really
fictional
see.
movie, The Blind Side? It almost looks like the fictional movie, The Blind Side. Him just abusing those guys.
Right, Stick, step it up. Come on, Stick.
That's good stuff. That's
his
what
ability
I'm
to
talking
move
about.
at his size is ridiculous. So you're gonna hear the Rashawn Slater moves better than he's 300 pounds. Sewell reportedly like in the 350s, right? So you're looking at a 350 pound guy moving the way he moves.
Look at that.
Just watch it. It's nuts to see it.
Fish is excited because he's hoping they do the rugby dance here.
But
Right,
it's more
Fish?
when he gets out. Look at this. He just flies by. Boom! Look at that block.
Look at that on a DB.
Yep.
Never see him coming.
Dude, are you kidding me?
What are you talking about? Clearing out the hole.
Yep.
They always complain about Detroit not having a run game, and we go out here, we get a guy like him that's going to come out.
So, can you go back a little? That's Marlon Davidson, who went in round 2, who he just turned like that. I mean, I don't know that people understand how hard that is to do. It looks simple. It looks very easy, but to turn a player like Marlon Davidson,
look at that.
That's Nick Coe. He's 295 pounds.
And just
look at
sitting
the
on
footwork.
Can sit down.
Gosh,
a guy like that coming here playing right tackle with Taylor
that
Jack
might
at
have
the
been
left
Derek
tackle.
Brown right there.
Hey, Dom's still in the area. I think Dom might want to come out of retirement, right? I mean, get some of those
guys
nasty
like that.
guys.
And I can still come out of retirement. I give you third downs. I'll put my hands on some people.
Now the thing with him is it's not always beautiful the way it looks, right? But
it's not about what it looks. I want it to be ugly.
It needs to be. There's the haka.
There you go,
oh,
Fish.
Boy.
They're gonna do the haka for you, Fish.
I love
this
it.
is the greatest thing, man.
They're gonna go all blacks on Fish. Look at that. Fish, you should do the haka in the aquarium.
Yep.
Do you know how to do the haka?
Man.
Fish, could you do a rendition of the haka, Fish?
I will not, but I will watch it.
But have you ever done it?
I have not done it.
All right. Because I know if you didn't know, Fish is all about the All Blacks and all about New Zealand, and that's something that
is a cool thing.
That gets me
really
fired up, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Sewell's a different dude, and Joique, you're right. The desire for him to get in the mud and out physical somebody, it to me is.
It's a
I
beautiful
don't
thing.
care if it looks ugly.
I don't care. You
the
know what?
fact
When I
that
see
he's
that,
willing to do it at 18 and just is balling with 22-year-old men at Auburn and handling his business, I think it's like
It's a smart pick. The Lions did something smart. This is I'm telling you so far, and the honeymoon period's over, guys. Okay, Brad Holmes made a great deal with Matthew Stafford, a deal that had to be made, and he made a great first pick. Right now, I get it. All right. There's a history with this franchise, and the Lions are gonna Lions, and same old Lions.
This is what it
right
is.
now, dude.
Tonight.
Pretty hard to argue with what Brad Holmes has done.
Let's see what he does.
Tonight is going to be, people look at the first round and say, all right, how can you mess up the first round? We've done it before.
No, many times.
Yeah.
We messed up the second round before. How can you mess up a second round? I'm excited to see what's going on tonight.
Yeah.
And Brad Holmes will be getting another text from me when the draft is over tonight.
3 more texts from you.
No.
They have 3 picks tonight.
No, what I'm saying is I'm going to text him when everything is over. I'm going to either
You're
say
telling me
great start or I'm going to say good start. I probably would have at
If they take Elijah Moore at 41, you're not going to text him and say, "Holy Lord, my pants
I'm
are
gonna text
off"?
him at the end. I'm not.
He's gonna have to pull up his
I'm
pants
not
first.
texting him during the draft.
Okay,
because
that's a good point. That's reasonable.
I'm gonna text him when everything
You're
is
a pro.
over, and then I'll
That's
say
fair.
that at the end. But when we come back, I want to kind of shift gears, and I want to talk about Stephen A. Smith and his thoughts on OBJ in Cleveland. Stay tapped in here at Woodward Sports Network. Joique Bell, Sean Baligian, Scott Bischoff. Stay tapped in.
We are here, downtown Fenton, my favorite Bridge Street Exchange.
That's right. And you want to switch up your wardrobe this summer? It's this easy. You ready, Joey?
I'm ready.
All right, you ready? I like it. You want to do it again?
Yeah, let's do it again.
All right. Ooh, Brixton. Nice. One more time?
Yes.
Ooh, I like the hat on this one, too. You ready to do it one more time, Joey?
I'm getting tired. One last one.
All right, let's change it. Bro, where's your shirt? You need new clothes this summer. Bridge Street Exchange in Fenton. That's where you need to go. Thank you, guys.
So, Joique, you said Stephen A.
Yes.
Thinks now. I'm full disclosure, okay? Full disclosure. Some of those, pardon my interruption, takes shows. I haven't watched any of that crap in years. I seriously, I haven't. Because I think at some point in time they stop legitimately talking about sports and they do it just to argue now. And I can't get past a guy who's done this for 17 years and people still think it's funny.
Is that Stephen A. Smith?
I don't know why you talk like this.
Stay off the
weed. Turn it off. So many years ago? Are you kidding me? That the whole thing's a bit. They don't say things they believe.
No, that's the
I'm
look he does.
convinced they don't say things they believe.
Oh, yeah, he does. You're right.
They play up to the camera. I'm sorry. I'm a sports fan. I don't need that fluff shit. And that's exactly what it is.
That's blasphemous.
You like that fish?
No, I just like some. I mean, there's funny moments, so I'll give them that.
Yeah.
Ski up, ski up, ski up, ski up, ski up.
When he gets all demonstrative, it's like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Ski up.
I don't watch that stuff. No way.
But what did he say? I mean, what happened? What's the story here with OBJ and Stephen A. Smith?
Well,
why does he hate him?
He basically said that the Browns would be better off trading OBJ.
For what? I mean, what are you going to get for him with this contract? I mean, what in a suppressed salary cap year?
Do you understand my point, Scott?
Yes, I do.
He is saying something for effect. There is no meat behind it. There's no reasoning behind it.
Boom.
It doesn't make sense logically. I don't know why. Like, I'm not being funny. If you like Stephen A. Smith, like him. I'm not telling you who to like. I just can't get past talking like this. Harrison asked me what's wrong. Don't ask me. Ask Stephen A.
Are you basically telling Stephen A. Smith to stick to basketball and stay away from football?
No, I don't like his delivery. I think he doesn't say things he means. I'm a person, mean what you say what you mean, right?
Sometimes you got to sell it, though.
I don't think... No, you don't. No, you know what? You don't have to sell anything. If you believe it, you don't have to sell it. But I don't believe that they're sincere when they say things. I just don't.
I feel Stephen A. Smith can sell water to the ocean.
Yep.
He probably could.
But, I mean, so you want to move on from Beckham. I understand he's been injured a lot. He makes a ton of money for a player who's injured a lot. But where are you moving him to? What are you moving him for? How do you replace him in your offense?
Thank you.
That kind of stuff. I mean, I know they want to run the ball with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb.
It's a lazy take, is what it is. It's a lazy take because I could say anybody needs to go anywhere. Okay, what are you going to do? You have a monster contract. What are you going to do? Where are you going to trade it? Okay? But like I said, somebody said white guy fit. No, you know what it is? It's a smart guy fit. That's what it is. Listen to what Scott said. Listen to what I said. Like seriously. Okay, I can say anybody can go, right? Okay, so what are you going to do? With that contract, how do you fill that void? Okay? It's lazy. And I'm sorry, that's what these shows, so many of these shows are now, is a guy making demonstrative comments, talking and acting all animated as I was.
You know what it is?
And throwing dumb takes out there like that. Because that's what it is. It's a dumb take. But other than that.
Look at that.
He's a ball. I loved him coming out of LSU. I did. And he has been injured a lot. So, I mean, there's a little bit of that, but you're not replacing him in that offense.
Well,
not that they had him a ton last year.
I mean, but he bounced back, though.
Yeah.
He bounces back. I mean, that's the NFL. The injury rate is 100%. You're going to get hurt. You're going to get hurt. So, what does that mean? Is he coming back and not being productive?
Are they running 12 personnel and multiple tight ends and multiple running backs? And you know what I mean? Like, it really changes their offense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, Art. Art was trying. Hey, I mean, like, sure. All jokes aside, if you like Stephen A. Smith, like him, okay? What I will ask you,
I think he does a good job.
what I will ask you or anybody else out there, challenge you, okay? Can he just make a take without going like that? And if that makes me boomer, so be it. But you know what? I'll also add to that. Facts are mean. He throws out so many dumb takes. Remember when he's on
ESPN
Scott,
for
do you
a
remember?
reason,
Do you
though.
remember a couple of years ago when he was talking about ties in hockey?
No.
Like here's a guy, a prominent sports figure on ESPN, talking about ties in hockey.
With the shootout in place?
Newsflash, Steve. It hasn't been there in 15 years. So that's as a sports fan, I get pissed at stuff like that. It's like, dude, that's not even research. Jeez,
It works though because he's on ESPN.
He's on, yeah.
And I
he's
mean,
on.
there's a reason. He is very
That's
demonstrative.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying here, telling you he needs to stick to basketball because that's what he knows, and stay away from other sports that you don't know. Because there's a stigma that, and I learned this from a guy that's actually who's an anchor for a prominent, I guess, sports network, said that usually African Americans only knows basketball and football for the most part, and we kind of stay away from hockey and baseball, and that's a stigma.
I don't think that's fair.
It's a stigma, though. It is a stigma, and so he said that for 2 weeks, he studied every NHL team, learned every single player name, the way to say their names correctly, learned their backgrounds for hockey and also for the MLB to kind of cut that stigma.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Good for him.
Yeah.
No, and listen, I'll say if you like Stephen A., like him. I don't tell anybody what to. It's not for me. I think when a guy is demonstrative like that, and as Kenny said, uses $12 words when $1 words would work, and
that's what they teach you in those.
And says things that there's no possible way he could mean, or says something really dumb like it's time to move on from OBJ, and do what? How?
So, I mean, is there a history with those guys? I'd be curious to know. There it is. Oh, man. He's got it. It's the same thing.
It's not real.
It's the forehead for
when
me.
I have and again, here's me. When I have a tough time with,
Steven said
is this
it
guy
sells.
being real or is he being sincere? When I have to ask myself watching a show like that, I don't watch a show anymore.
Does it feel a little bit like TMZ to you?
It's 1,000%
TMZ.
I don't buy it.
Sports
it's not for
TMZ.
me, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Not for me. To each your own, though. You know. I love the boomer stuff, though. I love when I'm old, but I'm not a boomer. Damn it.
So hold on. So you like Stephen A. Smith over like say Shaq and Charles Barkley? I love their bit. And for some reason,
it is the greatest thing on
love
TV.
those guys.
It reminds me bit like Shaq and Charles reminds me a lot of me and Art. All day just.
Do you know what? A lot
Just
of times,
messing
do you know
around.
what you have
Yeah.
to do a lot of times? I like what Ryan said. Stephen A. talking MMA was the whole reason I started hating him. You know what? Listen to me. Art, you're right. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. If you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, shut up. Right? Joique is breaking down what a running back sees when he runs to the line. It was awesome earlier this year.
I'm not going to go there and look at a defensive back and say, this is what he's looking at right here.
Could you imagine Scott and I trying to... No, Joique, this is how it goes.
Yeah. And I hit you with this.
Yeah, right?
Exactly.
I mean, they
And you should.
stay in your lane, bro. Yeah?
I look at you like I looked at the guy last night. I got 1,000 on it. I got 1,000. I beat you in Madden.
Yep.
Where my money at?
Sure
Dude,
you do.
that is...
You got to give me a chance to win my money back.
That's some of the
So
worst...
show it.
That is
show
some
his
of the
face.
weakest sauce I've like... Great, dude.
And then put
Pause
balls.
it. Pause it. Can you pause it, Art?
Who is
That
this
is some
person?
serious... I don't know. He's a good dude.
Yeah,
but
it was fun.
some serious weak sauce.
And his breath
No
stank
other way
too.
to say it.
I didn't want to say it.
His breath.
Wow, okay.
You see me pour it. I'm telling him to talk that way.
All right, we got to get out of here. I got to pack a dip. I'm having a fit. I haven't been able to dip in a couple hours. Scott, always a pleasure. I'm sure
Thank
we'll
you.
catch up soon. Joique, have a great weekend.
Hey, don't let me catch you in the streets. Gang, gang.
Fish Art, thank you. See you guys soon. Later.